The phone I was using to Sandra, to John. And if it is Sunday a.m. and it's 8 a.m. Central, you're in the right place. Welcome to Not Your Normal Sunday Show. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, coming to you from an undisclosed location deep in the American heartland. And Wayne Steiger's not too far away. How are you this morning, my friend?
I am well, my friend. How are you, Jeff? Good to see you.
I'm great. I'm feeling a little celebrational today, or a little celebratory, if you will, Wayne.
Oh,
because many years ago, I was on Coast to Coast AM for the first time, and one of the callers called in and said, "You're just the Edward Snowden of the New Testament," and not in a complimentary way.
ooh.
And I thought, that's a really good one. So that's where the Christian whistleblower was born.
Okay.
And I call that, if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And then this past week, I was hurled a vicious epithet, which was intended to be, "You're just a contrarian."
Ooh.
And then I looked up contrarian. It meant someone that goes against popular opinion or someone that goes against popular practices. So, Wayne, I think I've decided to form the creation of the first church of unindoctrinated contrarians.
I don't know if you might need a stadium for that.
Welcome to the Church of Unindoctrinated Contrarians. We have to say that Cliff Desmond did come up with that name.
Well, welcome everyone too. Looks like we got a full crowd in here, Jeff.
We do. It's awesome. I'm liking it. I had another thing to complain about, but I forgot what it was.
Well, typically people don't like. How you heard that? No one likes to hear a complainer, but everybody complains.
Yeah, but it's our show, Wayne. We can complain if we want.
We can do that.
Why do you think I'm on YouTube?
There you go. Hey, listen, it's a great bitch session.
Just so I can complain.
Yeah.
I see you, Warrior Princess in the house, Warrior Queen. I keep forgetting she's getting a promotion.
Good to see a lot of people here.
A lot of people here.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, Jeff, I have a question. Let me tell you a little story about
a man named Jed?
Yeah, about a man named Jed. That guy and then two guys, they, had this converse and presented questions from that which they once was this exclusive club. Worldwide, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So the story goes that a person listening went to her pastor and said, "There is a guy on YouTube, and he has asked a couple of really basic questions that has really shaken my faith." And the pastor said, apparently asked her what the questions were. One of the questions she asked was the God that they're worshiping in their church. Apparently this is a very large church in the Southeast. I don't know. She didn't say what the church was. And said, "Is God a Christian?" And the pastor just looked at her and said, "We assume." And she said, "Then what version of man sinned against our God?" The pastor said, What are you talking about?" And she said, "Are you denying evolution?" He said, "The Bible doesn't teach evolution." She says, "That's not what I asked you." I'm just basically kind of paraphrasing what she wrote me. And he said, "The question will never be brought up in this church."
Ooh.
She has since left that church. She's left the Christian religion. But this is the thing. I have come.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. I think I know who the church is. Anyway, one of the things she did say in a thank you parting message was that she said, "They say you and those associated with you have been endowed with a unholy wisdom from Lucifer himself, because we ask questions that a Christian should never even allow into their thoughts."
Well, Wayne, she's got company, because I get the same thing coming from other directions. So not from a big church in the Southeast, but
I don't know what church it is.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, it's And I don't know, maybe someone's talking trash about us. I kind of gotten several responses, comments on a couple of videos I've done, and it's very obviously that they have the appearance of Christian trolls.
Right. Everybody's worried because it's kind of vogue now. They're all worried about the synagogue of Satan, those that say they are Jews but really aren't. They don't bother me. It's the synagogue of Christianity light. Those that say they're not Christians but are. They scare me.
Yeah, they do. Well,
They scare me.
So, someone said, well, do you believe in Satan? I said, no. I mean, there is no Satan.
Wayne, why do I always hear the church lady when you say that?
Because it's exactly what it is. You got it. But the fact is, there is no Satan. And man, I guess, so that's why I'm wearing the polytheism, folks. If you believe in Jesus, remember, it is a polytheistic religion.
And why just have one imaginary friend when you can have so many?
Oh, exactly. I mean, don't we encourage our children in their imaginative time, that they have imaginary friends?
Yep.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I was going through some of my relationship woes, so to speak. Rocky Stucci, my partner tonight, Sunday night, shut up and listen.
Shut up and listen.
He said to me, Jeff, why make one woman so miserable when you can make so many so happy?
Okay, I love it.
That was pretty good. And speaking, I see Ransom in the chat room, LeakCon, also known as RexCon by me, coming up really quickly. Some people have referred to it as Cannabis Con. I don't think that's really what it's called, but if you're walking around and you have a funny smell, I know what it might be. But that's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out there and meeting everybody.
Well, we'll find out. I think it's in 2 weeks. So I don't live in Denver, but I know Denver City. I think that they're going to be passing where you can actually get psilocybin mushrooms.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. I think you'll have to have, I think initially it's going to be medical. And so there you go.
So next year, Mushroom Con, Shroom Con.
Now that would be a convention to attend.
Could you imagine 200 or 300 people on shrooms?
That would be the magical mystery tour for sure.
Led by Rex.
Oh, my. That's a dangerous precedent, I'm telling you.
With Ransom filming every second.
That they'll have the man out there watching that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
So I have a question for you, my friend.
I have one for you first, though.
Okay, let's have it. I always
have you ever done the mushies before?
Yes. In my youth.
Good experience, bad experience?
Mushrooms were the only time that I had what I would call an uneasy experience. And, we used to go out. I lived in Houston, out in the outer side in Spring, Texas. And out there was a lot of cow fields back in the day, and that's where the mushrooms come from. And we would be out every morning at about 6 o'clock because that's the perfect time to go pick them. And I ate some that I'll never forget this. And a herd of cows surrounded.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, and I mean, it freaked me out. It really did. It was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So anyway, that
explains why I never did mushrooms, because if you have to get up early in the morning for it, I barely make this, Wayne.
Yeah.
It's 8 a.m.
Yeah, well, you get that Texas sun, and they're gone by about 9 o'clock. So
they die off?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sun gets so hot, and they just, they're a fungus, and they just shrivel back up.
It reminds me of the mushroom that walked into a bar, ordered a drink.
Yeah.
Bartender said, "Get out of here. We don't serve your kind here." He says, "Why not? I'm a fun guy."
I love it.
Okay, so, Wayne, take over.
All right. Do you believe in the concept of heaven or hell, or both?
Me?
Yes.
Personally?
Yes.
Negatory.
Thank you. My thoughts exactly. I just wanted to find that out because
Baal is symbolized by a cow, Wayne. Maybe Baal was talking to you.
Well, Misty, also, Baal also means Lord.
That's right.
Someone wrote me,
Lord of the cows.
She said, I
Cow Lord.
serve the Lord Jesus Christ, the Yeshua, blah, blah, blah. And I said, lady, do you know what you started out saying? You said, Baal is Jesus.
Well, she's telling the truth at least.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with, I remember with the Copelandites, I was a Copelandite for decades. And, he always had the big sign on when he came out on stage, Jesus is Lord.
Yeah.
And I sound like Ernest Angley now. But
yeah, that sounds like Ernest Angley.
Yeah. But you got to admit, that guy was fun. He really was. Yes.
I watched him get arrested in Germany for practicing medicine without a license.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
So the police act. Wow. And how was that interpreted? That's interesting.
Because he was doing healing, and they interpreted that as practicing medicine without a license. Yeah, they cuffed him right on stage and took him off.
How interesting.
That was pretty interesting. Catherine Kuhlman, Cliff Desmond says she was a trip too. That was one weird lady.
That woman, I'll take flack on this. I mean, I studied Catherine. That woman was a witch.
That woman was possessed of many spirits, let me tell you.
Yes.
It wasn't just, when, all Christians, Wayne, this is the thing that blows my mind. I mean, you remember this. We did it. The church music goes down and the somber music comes on, and you walk down this aisle towards, there's hooded, robed figures up here on the platform. You go up there, you kneel before an altar. There's a great big symbol of human sacrifice right in front of you. You swear a blood oath. You give your soul, and then you ask two entities, Father entity, Son entity, to come and possess you. Anywhere else, that's called possession. Here we call it getting saved. So, wow. And I think she invited in more than just the Father and the Son. That was my point.
Well, and if you look at the Pentecostal point of view, the Holy Spirit.
Oh, yeah, that's three.
Yeah. When I was baptized, I came up speaking in tongues. And it's
did
never
you
left.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you got it good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
you got it good, bro.
The whole 9 yards. And it's very odd that how I've renounced Christianity, I've renounced the Christian God, the Jesus, all of the gods. But I still got this language. So what's up with that?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, what's up with that? Now, some people say
it takes a parasite a while to get worked out of your system, Wayne.
Well, it's been there a long time, and I can tell you, it's been starved off it. But that is really an interesting point of view. Now, not all Christians, as you know, believe the Catholics teach that was only for the apostles, correct?
But there are a lot of charismatic Catholics now.
Yeah, I guess that was their whole movement back in the late 70s was the charismatic movement.
Right.
Yeah, I remember the nuns coming up to Grace Christian Center, and we thought it was just a hallelujah time, kumbaya, that this was Jesus was coming back. We thought for sure he was coming back. This was the unification of the church.
Dude, we didn't never let nuns come into Family Worship Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Hell no.
Hell no to the no.
We ain't having none of that.
Excuse me, folks.
We are having none of that. No, we wouldn't allow that. Jimmy wouldn't allow them to have the conference in the Holy Spirit there at his church. He said, nope, sorry. If there's Catholics coming, you can't do it.
Wow. Well, I didn't realize. Would you call that a certain bigotry within the Christian faith that,
No, I would call that being a contrarian. I don't believe in Catholicism. Their doctrine's bad. You're not using my church. I was 100% behind him.
Well, here's the logic person of me. Any way you look at Martin Luther, he learned from the Catholics. They didn't go and invent a new Bible. Now, granted, they edited much of it out, but still, the roots of Christianity are right there in the Holy See of Rome.
Absolutely.
And I see, and this is just how I was thinking about this morning as I was getting ready. Christianity is the prophesied one world religion. It's amazing how they prophesied in Revelation that this one world religion would take over. Folks, by all indications, it would either be the Christians or the Muslims. So
it's either, it's Abrahamic religion is the one world religion.
Oh, Jeff, you just nailed it, brother. You just nailed it on. It is the one world religion.
Yeah, I got to write that down. I got nothing to write on. I don't want to write on.
Come on, man. Get the whiteboard.
Oh, I got the whiteboard, but
no.
See, I redid everything, and it's.
Well, guess what? It'll be on.
Now.
You can go back and listen to that. Yeah,
that's right.
But very observant, my friend. And you know,
that's a show right there. The one world religion. It's here.
It's here.
Oh, that's great clickbait too.
Oh, it is. So think about this now. So Abraham. I
could write on Cynthia's Living in Province book. It's hardcover. She'd kill me.
Yeah, probably. Wise move.
I bet you within 5 seconds there's a pad of paper in here.
So let's follow this out, Jeff. So the Abrahamic religions, which is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, if we trace Abraham's roots, he came from Ur of the Chaldees, which was
which Ransom just put in the chat room. That's so interesting.
That is Sumer. Now, isn't it interesting that when you look at Sumer, and I would recommend this guy's books, Jeff, this is one you really need in your library. It's the 39 First of Humankind. And see,
did you read Life Begins at Sumer?
I don't think I have.
That's a good one too.
Anyway, when you look at this, let's follow this out for everyone. So Abraham is the patriarch of the monotheistic single religion, supposedly. How you got 3 branches from that. However, if you go down the trunk to where the root is, Abram's family worshiped Iana, the moon goddess, which was the superior god of all goddesses. And that would mean that Abram would not have gone off and worshiped an unseen god. It would have been one he would have been more familiar with. Is it Enki or is it Enyel? Or is it Baal?
Interesting stuff.
No one will discuss it. Why can't we discuss this? I mean, we cannot deny. Zechariah, and the book of Zechariah is one of the most revealing passages. I don't know how they allowed it in, to be honest with you. But you go to Zechariah 12, there Zechariah is with this angel, the angel of the Lord, quote unquote, and he sees the spaceship coming from Sumer. The spaceship comes to where they are. Now, he saw it as a flying scroll. And as the spaceship, the saucer, came down, there were 2 pilots in it, female pilots, no less. Ooh. And folks, read it. Why do you not hear your Sunday sermons about this? So it was very
So obvious. Wayne, the first drivers of UFOs were female drivers.
Yes, in Zechariah. The point is that the angel was not blown out of the water by it. And apparently, when Zechariah found, it was almost as if that was very well accepted, Sumer. But there was the offshoot of Abraham here. I mean, come on.
That's powerful stuff.
Yeah. So is the world religion going back to where it originated from? Is it, in fact, are we worshiping Enyel or are we worshiping Enki? I don't know.
Sorry, I put something there about female drivers, and then Power Vapor Supply says, well, men aliens wouldn't have flown halfway across the galaxy just to crash here. That's horrible.
I love it. I love it.
Blaming Roswell on women driving, says Lit T.
And so let's carry this one step further.
My Uber driver's an Asian woman with bad eyes.
Oh, that's not good. No. So I watched this most remarkable movie last night. In fact, my wife and we watched it twice. The movie is called Claire. C-L-A-R-A. And I highly recommend it. It is probably one of the most profound movies I have seen, based on a lot of science. And here's the thing. Since Hubble, And now that we have tests and the James Webb telescopes up, I think James Webb is going up this year, we've detected 4,000 what we consider to be habitable planets.
Wow.
For nearly 700 years, what we have never detected since we started the skies, and I contend you can go back to the Chaldeans and further. The thing is, we've never detected any sign of life. None. To this very day, there is no physical evidence of life beyond the earth.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
Well, we know this. We know that our solar system, we're in a dust cloud, which obscures us both ways. It would obscure an intelligence to be able, unless they could pierce through the dust to get to us. It's part of our problem with our telescopes. We're getting better at it. We can now see the infrared. We can see to remove the dust, but the universe seems to be filled with dust. And if the universe is nearly 15 billion, they say, years old, it's an old universe.
And evidently, it's not the week for the cleaning lady either.
Exactly. The dust is everywhere.
Because why would there be dust everywhere?
It's one of the phenomenons that we're still trying to figure out. Dust is it's evidence that this is a very old place. And
there's nothing, gravity or any other force. Oblivion was a great movie. To make it settle, I guess it would just continue to float around, right?
Yeah. So the question is, are we the last bastion of a life of a very old solar system?
I would say we probably are. Ooh, somebody says, is it dust or is it spores?
That's good. What about Mars? Yeah. There's something going on in Mars. That's all I got to say. As I contend, whoever destroyed Mars, where do they go?
It's a good question.
It's very odd. And this gets back to this whole concept. So if you believe in the duality of good and evil, so you've got the good God, you got the bad God. This one be represented by what we would say would be Allah, Jehovah, Father God. He's apparently the good guy. And then
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Okay, that's what. Then you got the antithesis of it, which by all indications, the antithesis is stronger than this God here.
Isn't that the truth?
It is.
Wayne, you may have just hit on a profundity.
Well, by accident.
You may have just hit on a profundity.
So, if you take the concept that apparently this guy here, there's the pad.
There it is.
So the bad guy, maybe again, it's how we've gotten this polarity wrong.
Well, the clickbait is strong in me this morning, Wayne.
Oh, well, I'll be watching the shows later. I challenge anyone. In fact, I put a money bet out there. Show me where Lucifer ever commanded or harmed or killed one human being.
It's easy to show where the God of the Bible killed bunches of people.
Oh, billions.
But Lucifer didn't do it.
No.
Not that I can see.
Jeff, if you knew everything, if you were God.
What do you mean if, Wayne?
Okay, I know. You get a lot of razz on that, but I know you. You're a humble man. They just don't see that all the time. But here's the point. Would murder be you have all the knowledge, billions of options. Are you telling me murder would be the only option you could come up with where your enemies were concerned? And why do you have enemies?
Well, that's this being that calls himself Yahweh. I don't think that's really his name. He stole it. He is he's supposed to be God. He's supposed to be almighty. He's supposed to be omnipotent. He's supposed to be omniscient, know everything. But as soon as somebody ticks him off, he blows his stack and starts killing people. It reminds me of these people that attack me. And I know you're not much of a cowboy if you're not taking a few arrows, so I'm used to it. But it's always the Christians or the Christian lights, and they always respond with all this wrath. I've never had anyone that's not a Christian or a Christian light threaten me, call me horrible names. The atheists just ignore you. It's the Christian and the Christian light people that have to come with their righteous indignation and their vengeance. And I'm after you, and I shall destroy you. I shall smite thee. And then they always say at the end, but it's all in love, because they serve the God of love. They're going to smite you in the name of the God of love. That's called hypocrisy. And it's called all kinds of other things that I won't say because I'm a gentleman.
You are. Yeah, you are. I have to say that.
But, I just have to say, really, when you think about it all, and are they going to attack you? Or are they not going to attack you? Are they going to say bad things about you? All you can say is, come at me, bro.
Well, I tell them happy trails.
Yeah, have fun. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. Is that what it takes for you? If that's what it takes for you to feel like you have a purpose in this life, to come after me, I'm all about helping people find their purpose. So if your purpose is to think you got to mess with me, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I can take it as a compliment. If I've been endowed with the supernatural wisdom from Lucifer, okay.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Listen, think about it, Wayne. Even if Lucifer is who they say he is, he's been around a long time. He's seen a lot of stuff. He could teach you a thing or two.
Well, I contend that if hell ever did exist, show me why would Lucifer be in cohorts with Jehovah? I mean, this is a mafia, man. They got you coming and going if you believe the concept. I mean, then Lucifer is basically God's partner. Yeah,
it's good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, and my question be, well, why would Lucifer want all the losers then? If he's a pride creature, why would he want God's rejects?
Well, here's my question, Wayne. If you're the God that made everyone, right? God created us all. Mm-hmm. He loves us so much. You're this perfect God. In your most perfect creation, you create billions and billions of people, and most of them are going to wind up burning in hell forever. Who's the failure?
Oh, well, now... Talk to that guy.
What a shitty God.
Exactly. Talk about the most non-responsible being ever.
Where's Donald Trump when you need him? You're fired.
You're fired, man. I did a video, What If Humanity Fired God? And it was the fact that he was proven, and I basically was taking the CEO's position and firing him because he's the chairman of the board. Mm-hmm. And what we brought up against him was his incompetency, his continued failures of can't apparently cognitively figure things out. And when we found him that he broke the moral clause, number one, he's an adulterer, a murderer, genocidal, homicidal maniac. And I said, we can't have you representing us.
No, you're out. You're fired.
Yeah. So the question is, what would we do with his replacement? Would we find a replacement?
When we replace God, will Trump run for God?
Now we have set heaven and hell, because you got the ones that no matter what this guy, I'm convinced Trump could walk on water, and the Democrats would find some reason that was something he stole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wrote on my whiteboard last night, late at night, and I'm convinced that we've entered into this age of confusion.
Oh, and listen to this. Beyond All says the definition of pastor is one who domesticates livestock.
Oh. And then where do we take livestock?
Well, I just did this yesterday. I looked at, and this is right in the Greek. It says, "My sheep hear my voice." You look up the word sheep, and the first definition is one that is easily led.
Whoa. I guess that means, I can only read my holy book, and I'm not going to hear anything else outside it. Nah. Yeah. And
it's just like if that same spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you, he will quicken your mortal body. The Greek says he will make your fleshly body subject to death come alive again and again. Welcome to the club.
Is hell.
Welcome to the club.
Whoa, 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 whoa. So let's talk about that's interesting. There's a direct correlation to this recycling, this reincarnation.
Remember I sent you the text about why humanity
Oh, that's
isn't?
what that was.
That's
Yeah.
why humanity's not evolving, because we're just getting recycled, and we're actually degrading. Because you keep making copies, the quality is going to degrade.
Yep.
So that's what happened for the last 2,000 years at least. People have been giving their soul to Big Daddy and Creepy Christ. They've been letting them possess them. And the deal is, you let us possess you, and we'll give you eternal life. They just didn't read the fine print. Eternal life in this mortal body. And we keep copying. It's degrading.
All right. And I can see that scripture now. So the mortal body, where's the spirit?
Ooh, that's an even better question.
I mean, isn't that the whole Pauline doctrine?
And Tracy says, it's like cloning. They're cloning us. And we're degrading as clones. That's why humanity is degrading. And you're right. There's only a certain number of us. And most of us have locked, at least 2/3 of us, if we go by Christian, being 2/3 of the Earth's population religion-wise. So 2/3 of the species are cloned and degrading. And it's only that 1/3 left to try to bring up, make some positive contributions to the gene pool.
So, Jeff, when I was in the video industry,
this is why I'm getting shot at, Wayne. This is where the arrows are coming from.
Well, it's a worthy to take them.
Absolutely.
I used, when I worked, we used to do large scale duplications back in the days of VHS tape.
What does not kill you makes you stronger.
And when we got the master from the post house, what we would do with that master is that we would put it on a specialized machine made by Hitachi, and we would make a mother mirror master. And that was pristine. That went into a vault. And we would then take what we did with the duplicate, and that's where we made all of our VHS copies off of.
Ooh, so do they have the original copies of us somewhere, Wayne?
That's what I'm saying. You go up on that aisle, you're making a public profession before all heaven and earth, as they say. Ooh. And mortal body, no spirit.
No, just mortal body.
That's some scary stuff right there. Don't tell me about no devil. I can read that stuff, and that stuff scares the crap out of me.
Dude, with gods like that, you don't need devils.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, they're already out to get you. You don't need the guy that says, well, hey, I'm out to get you. I mean, at least you know who he is.
Exactly. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Body. Why would they put that in there? That's very interesting.
Because, Wayne, they got to tell the truth. So their hands are, they have, what's it called? Deniable plausibility.
Yeah.
Hey, we told them. It's a legal deal. If they ever went to cosmic court, they could say, look, we told them right here, it's in black and white. They accepted it.
This book, by the way, on the historical historicity of Jesus, why you might have reasons to doubt. In here, he brings out the fact that the Gospel of Mark is the one staring, obvious, mythological book, if there ever is one. It says a good example of how Mark is creating fiction about a supposed Jesus can be seen in the appearance of the previously unmentioned, unresurrected name Barabbas. The point is that Mark has always been one of those books, as I've told people before, that they try to tell me that the book is canon, the Bible is holy, and that, it can't be altered or changed. And I said, are you kidding me? What about the Gospel of Mark?
Yep.
I mean, 16, 6 through 9, 9 through 16, they admit it was added later. What, was that Mark that added that?
Yeah.
And so if Jesus said, in my name, you shall drink anything deadly. Well, folks, that's a fraud.
Take up serpents.
Yes. I mean, Jeff, it's a freaking illusion.
What is it? It's not really an illusion. Because illusion doesn't sound like it's nefarious enough to me. It's a delusion.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is a delusion.
and they're doing it, and they've been perpetrating it so long. And the thing that really blows my mind, it's like Mark Twain said, it's much easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. Because we can come with flat, plain words from their own Bible, showing them. There it is in black and white. And smart people, intelligent people will not only not believe you, but they'll fight against you to maintain their captors. It's called the Stockholm Syndrome, and spiritual Stockholm Syndrome is the strongest thing, Wayne, I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sad.
That's a flaw within our species.
I wonder if that was engineered into our DNA when they monkeyed with us.
I think so.
So you really do, when you ascend, when you wake up on whatever, you really do have to undergo a process of DNA reprogramming. And this is another reason why. Here's a little diamond nugget. Don't lay hands on anyone suddenly. Don't let people that are brand new into the genre become leaders, because they haven't had the time to allow, it's all coming back full circle, when they haven't had the time to allow that old dormant virus to work its way out. They haven't found a way, haven't had the time to have their DNA reprogrammed yet. So there's a lot of Johnny-come-latelys. All of a sudden they got a bunch of followers on YouTube and they're experts. No, they haven't had time yet to let their DNA change. They haven't had time yet to work the virus out of their place. So lay hands on no man suddenly, or no woman suddenly, especially if she's married.
This is why I enjoy our Sunday shows, that we come in here and we discuss these things that are taboo.
Look at Shani Taro's comment.
What did she write? Lucifer, what? Douche.
So give the old programming a little Summer's Eve.
Yeah.
How uncomfortable was that when you're sitting on the couch watching Star Trek with your mom, and all of a sudden a commercial for Summer's Eve comes on, or a commercial for tampons come on, and you're like, and it's the longest commercial in the history of humanity. It always made me a little nervous.
And they don't even show those anymore. I really...
Thank the baby Jesus lying in the manger if they don't show those anymore.
Well, you bring up a very good point. I still contend that we don't know our beginnings. We try to create these things. I really do have great empathy for the people that are trying to get out of that God spell. It's difficult. It's hard. And when you're dealing with...
Even if you want to, it's hard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I guess for Lynn and I, we just finally came to the conclusion that it can't be real.
Wayne, I did put a note in on my community section that there would be no potluck following today's services. Lynn is cooking, but not for you.
You're a good man, Jeff. Now, do you cook there in your house?
Pardon?
Do you cook in your house?
I am very well able to cook, and I will on occasion cook, and it's surprisingly good. But generally speaking, no, I don't have to cook.
Okay, all right. I'm like you. I enjoy it. It's alchemy of the best kind. You know, it's just. If you're in this matrix, you might as well.
Wayne, I'm better in the bedroom than the kitchen. Yo.
Nothing more needs to be said.
I just thought of Rocky Stucci when I said that.
And I'm thinking of The Who.
I do. If there's barbecuing to be done, I do the barbecuing.
Yeah?
I will fire up that Traeger grill and take it to town, brother.
Now, are you doing any fishing in the lake you were freeze dunking in?
Dude, I would almost rather go to the dentist than fish. It's just
very
not my
meditative.
Thing. It's just not my thing.
Well, now are the others around there that actually fish? Does it have? I'm sure it has fish.
Oh yeah, there's people out there fishing all the time. There's a lot of fisher people here, but no, I'll watch.
And you grew up in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm just not a fisherman, man. It's just too boring for me, too slow.
Okay.
That's why I don't play golf either. I'm like, we have 1 second of action and 20 minutes of walking. It's just not my thing, man. I need a little more constant stimulation.
Okay, well, I mean, I find golf, if there was ever a god, it invented golf.
Yeah, like Mark Twain also said, golf is a good walk spoiled.
Yeah, well, Mark Twain was a cagio guy with the end times.
He was.
He was.
And Mark Twain
he was
also
a contrarian.
said, he also said, if there had never been a priest, there never would have been a sinner.
Yeah. It's like the Iroquois said to that Calvary Baptist preacher. He says, now, wait a minute. You're telling me that since you've told me about this God, that if I don't believe in it, then I'm going to go to hell. Yeah. Well, why'd you tell me? Like, I don't want to know this. Go on.
Exactly. That's why I always loved playing hockey, because when you're the goalie, even if the puck's way down at the other end, you still got to be watching because you never know when somebody's going to flip it your way. And it's not fun when you're kind of spaced out and they flip it from way down the other end and it goes right between your legs and they score. It's like that doesn't happen to you but once, and you are very, very attentive. So that's it. Fast moving, always something.
Well, I love
that
golf.
was my thing.
To me, it's a game of strategy. And
how bad is it for your back, Wayne? Really, golf?
Oh, I wouldn't do it. Every golfer I know, every pro golfer has back problems.
I figure if Tiger Woods has a bad back and he knows exactly what he's doing, there's a good chance that if I played golf again, I'd get a bad back. So,
well, he's playing with his spine fused.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I'm thinking, dude, you're trying to hit the big ball with the young guys.
Yep.
What if you hear it crack? No, I'm not going to say that.
So I'm taking up shooting, Wayne. I got my concealed carry license, and we're going to start going to the range and start shooting. That sounds exciting to me.
What have you bought?
What type of gun?
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of a governor?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got.
Okay. Are you good at it?
Well, I'm learning.
Okay.
But the governor shoots 3 or 4 different rounds, so all the way up to shotgun shells, bro. I don't have to be very good with that shotgun shell one.
Well, we're same here. We're avid. We have been. We belong to a gun club, the whole bit. So
that's what just started. There's a Glock, there's the governor, and there'll be some more purchases made early on. So, like I was saying before, come at me, bro. Do you know what you know what a governor is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a handgun that shoots shotgun shells? If you're in the house coming after me, it's not going to end well for you. Not at all.
We have I won't tell you what we have, but it's the shells that we have in the 12 gauge are customized shells, and
yes, Ransom.
They not only do they throw out spinning, which would be considered razors, but they also have a little, not potassium. What's the chemical that I'm trying to think of? Illuminates.
Oh, phosphorus.
Phosphorus in them.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Do you know what that does to the human body when it hits it?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'll leave a mark.
Yeah. And my wife's actually a better shot than I am.
You've said that.
Yeah. We have a number of different calibers, and I'm better on the 45, but you get her a 9mm 40, that woman will put you down.
My uncle passed recently, and he bequeathed me one of those Dirty Harry 45 Magnum long barrel things.
Yeah.
That's got a kick.
I had a friend who had a 50 caliber handgun. To me, it's like I told him, I said, if the damn thing hurts and you can't keep it on target, why have it? It makes a big noise.
Yeah.
But the guy who's realizing he's going to see you trying to shoot that, he knows you're not going to be able to hit the broadside of a barn.
From the inside.
Yeah. But if
you're close, if it's, within 10 feet, you're probably going to hit something, right?
Oh, yeah. That you're that close. There's no doubt about it. I'm glad to hear that. it's something that I think every person should have. I think we should have open carry.
Yeah, I do too.
You know?
Would you rather have I think you should have both, but just for a second, the handgun with shotgun shells or a shotgun?
I'd take a shotgun.
More versatile.
Yeah.
My only thing is if home defense, someone's coming at you, you've got to raise that shotgun. They can cover it. Can they close that distance fast enough to get you before you can raise the shotgun?
Well, here's a very interesting thing we have in our nightstand besides our handguns. But I have a laser. I have a military laser. And I'll blind you first.
It's a revolver, Jason, so I'd really have to be bad to shoot myself in the foot. But I guess you could, but you'd really have to be trying to shoot yourself in the foot in the foot with a revolver.
Listen, people don't. I did a story.
Will, can I just say I got to call bullshit on that? Where did you get that statistic?
What?
Guns have only saved 3% of the people using it who were attacked. That's bullshit.
Oh, come on.
Show me some data or get that corn out of my face.
Come on. Let me tell you what. I've never seen a coward thief that, in fact, I've had experience in this. You pull a gun on it, guess what? He shits his pants. Literally.
It leaves a trail as he's running away.
So don't give me that. Get that con out of my face.
Wait, I'm being told that open carry is legal in Kansas now.
Is it? I think it's ideal. Listen, it would cut down on the crime rate. It's already been proven. It has been proven time and time again. I'll guarantee you this. Had with the theater up here where that idiot started open fire, if they had someone in there that had a concealed carry permit or open carry, that dude wouldn't have gotten off one shot.
I always say, Wayne, they didn't have any mass shootings in Tombstone.
They certainly didn't. And, you talk to the Holocaust survivors. When Nazi Germany or the Republic of Germany began to make it illegal for citizens to have guns because of this missed thing, I know in New Zealand they've confiscated guns. You know what, folks? Once they got your guns, they can get you.
Yeah. People don't understand the reason why the Founding Fathers wrote the Second Amendment is so the government, and they said it themselves, the government would be afraid of the populace.
That's exactly right. Listen, you could say the same thing. I've seen the opponents for gun ownership, and they said, well, why even have it? It's only meant for one thing, to kill.
I love it when you have a girl saying they won't be getting my guns. Love it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you, that's why the United States has never been taken over by any domestic or foreign enemy.
Yep.
They know this. They know it. They can't get rid of it. The Obama administration did its damnedest to restrict the Second Amendment. And it failed. The Affordable Care Act had so many clauses in there about handguns and medical. Here in Colorado...
Oh, we're not going to give you your medical if you own a handgun. That's right.
Yep. Here in Colorado, they passed this thing called the red flag law. I know why they did it, but it won't stand up when it gets to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will kick it out. But this is what I see as the oppression of these liberal states coming in now and trying to restrict the Constitution. Of course, with most Democrats, the Constitution doesn't mean anything but a piece of toilet paper. But that's just my personal opinion.
And the funniest thing, Wayne, is all of the passion that gets stirred up around keeping and bearing arms, which is our Second Amendment right, and we should do it. What blows my mind is Thomas Jefferson said, a central bank is more dangerous than a standing army, and we didn't get that one.
We didn't. And boy, do they have us by the short hairs now.
Thomas Jefferson said the day will come, if you have a central bank, where they will lend you money at interest, and it won't take but a couple generations before your children, they will take your land, they will take your homes, and you will be living as serfs in the land that your fathers died for. Here we are.
I say hello, Jekyll Island.
Yep.
And, Americans are they're morons. They are.
To say the least, yeah.
And yeah, I'm an American because I have been taken and fooled by the politicians as well.
Yep.
Why do we have the Federal Reserve? There is an absolutely no need. It serves no purpose whatsoever. Show me another country that has a Federal Reserve. So they print money, and then we, like idiots, like lemmings, we pay them interest on our money.
And then they loan you money that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And when you buy something with it that's real, like a house, and all of a sudden you can't make the payment or you don't make the taxes, they'll go get something that's real because you can't pay back something that's fake.
Yeah. I say audit the Fed.
And the Federal Reserve is no more federal than FedEx. Remember that.
Yeah.
It's a company.
They say a lot of the conspiracies of 9/11, but the one that I happened to buy into the most, and it's never been accounted for, was the gold. Underneath World Trade Center 2 was the single largest private gold repository, and it would come in, it would go out. And I was told that they stole that gold because it was the only way, that they were deathly afraid, the Bush administration, because remember, on September 10th is when Rumsfeld admitted that the Pentagon failed the audit. They could not account for nearly $9 trillion. And then the next day we had 9/11, and there was no more talk about the failed audit of the Pentagon.
Those who exchange liberty for safety will have and deserve neither. Benjamin Franklin.
That's exactly right. So I think that they were so afraid that the Ron Paul movement was really going to get some wheels, that they had to find something to be able to put up there for a showcase, because I contend the United States has no gold. Fort Knox is nothing more than an illusion.
It'd be hard to argue that. It would be hard to argue that.
I'll go one step further, and I'll just say this. On September 28th, 2008, is the day the United States went into what we call legal bankruptcy.
The United States, you mean?
Yes, sir. That was the actual beginning of the end. We were, from what I understand, the central banks called the marker. People don't stop and remember. Remember McCain, he completely suspended his campaign. Obama just temporarily paused it, and that's when they had the big powwow. Now, what other people don't realize who was in that meeting was not only Bush, McCain, Obama, but also the Greenberg. Now, who was the Fed chairman back then? Greenspan, thank you. I understand as well representatives of the central banks themselves were there. And we went into default, folks, and we've never recovered since then. In fact, I can tell you today, the Federal Reserve can't sell our debt. We have been monetizing our debt now for nearly a decade.
Yep.
And at some point in time, that's going to hit us.
I still think.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I still think there's some way that one of the reasons why the king of debt is president is because something's going to happen with that debt. He's going to do something. It's going to be unforeseen, unprecedented.
I think you're right. All the indicators are a real crap storm's coming this fall. My concern has been, you're not hearing it in the press, but check me out on this. Go to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and look at the futures for corn, barley, soy, wheat. They're going out of the sky because there's no crops being planted in the Midwest. Look at what's happening to Davenport, Iowa right now. Do you know that the city is underwater?
I saw that today before we went on.
Yeah. And in fact, the Farm Bureau has said statistically less than 30% of the crops will be planted this year in the United States.
Why? Because of flooding?
Yes. If you saw what happened with the winter thaw, there were places up in Nebraska that was being carved out 20 feet into the ground where the ice was that thick, moving ground.
I hear they're growing crops in Minnesota, says Empath. I know they're growing here in Kansas, but yeah, Kansas hasn't got that bad flooding.
Yeah, if you look at through Iowa, what we normally call the Corn Belt.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a bad thing that they're not producing corn? I mean, corn's pretty bad for us, right?
I don't know. You know, with all the GMOs, it's hard to say what they've done. Quite frankly, I don't believe that what they say is organic is organic. I think that the genetic modified organisms are so well spread out in the distribution of the food system. I don't know if you can get it back.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know.
And you wonder about what they, what's going on with the spraying and the seeding. Yeah, I mean, how can there be any pristine soils left?
I don't think there are.
Most of the corn is for livestock, and yeah, animals shouldn't be eating corn.
Well, I was out yesterday doing yard work, and the chemtrailing was ridiculous. I mean, I'm snapping pictures as I'm going. I found one, they were actually making a checkerboard. It's like, are you guys just jacking with us or what?
Here's a conspiracy theory for you that I never even thought about until just now. In the Bible, it talks about corn, but that's not really corn, it's wheat. So were they getting us ready for corn way back then?
That's a very good point.
Dude, I got 3 shows of blasphemy just out of this one show right here.
Man, I'll tell you what, this is just, this is the show that keeps giving.
It is. We just keep giving.
Keep on.
Oh, there's a Rooney under my desk. I felt something nice and warm, and there he is.
Ah, is that the cat?
That's the cat.
Ah, gotta love the cat.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, it's changing. It really is. There's just so much. I tell you, I think we've entered into this age of confusion. Nothing really makes sense anymore. I just read where Buffett said, they asked him about this bull market, and he wrote back, he said, no textbook could have ever prepared anyone for what we have today. He said none of the rules apply anymore.
I'm assuming that wasn't Jimmy Buffett.
No, Warren Buffett.
Gotcha.
And he said it's not the same world.
It's really not.
It's not, Jeff. It's changing, and I don't know. It's pretty strange. I see this new facial recognition technology that's being deployed by police departments. They can now, not only can they read your license plate and put it through an immediate database, but they can now scan you. Rooney.
Oh, yeah, I had a request.
Hey, Rooney! Oh,
there he is.
Look at the kitty cat. A cat, look at that. It's like, okay.
The reports of Rooney's death have been greatly exaggerated.
He looks healthy to me.
Yeah, he's plenty healthy.
Yeah? How's he like his new environment?
Oh, he's loving it. He is loving it. Can't you tell?
Yeah, I can see. He's not complaining.
No, he's fine.
Gone from a Florida cat now to Midwest.
He's loving it. He's loving the secure location.
Someone says, oh, cute pussy. There you go.
We got some dirty people in this chat room.
That's all right.
Hey, it's a lot of fun, right?
I still like the Zsa Zsa Gabor and Johnny Carson.
That's right. Well, if you move that cat, I will.
Said, I'd love to pet your pussy.
That's unbelievable, Johnny Carson.
I'll tell you, John.
Bad man.
But classic times. I mean, I just saw a clip on him. Who was it?
Is Johnny still alive?
I think he is.
Good.
So you had Robin Williams and come on, I can't think of the other guy. He played the kid on Mork and Mindy. Jonathan Winters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And those two got into it, and Johnny Carson was literally crying.
Because he was laughing so
Oh,
hard.
he was laughing. I mean, it's classic. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's you'll love it.
Oh, great thing to close the show with. So creepy, goofy Joe Biden's out giving a speech yesterday. And he says, I've been contacted. He's talking about Trump being crazy. I've been contacted by 14 current world leaders, including Margaret Thatcher. So Joe Biden is now speaking to the dead. Joe Biden is channeling the dead. Margaret Thatcher, who's been dead since 2013, folks, told Joe Biden that Donald Trump was crazy. Johnny Carson died in 2005? No. Really?
You see, I'm convinced I'm not living in the same spatial reality. I mean, I did not know that.
Johnny Carson.
Huh.
He died January 23rd, 2005 at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in L.A. Johnny Carson? I did not know that.
I do not recall.
80 years old.
Well, there you go. The Mandela effect at work, yeah. Roots and Branch Homestead, yeah.
Just a couple of real quick quotes from Johnny Carson. If life was fair, Elvis would be alive and all the impersonators would be dead. I know a man who gave up smoking, drinking, sex, and rich food. He was healthy right after the day he killed himself.
Yeah, right.
For 3 days after death, hair and fingernails continue to grow, but phone calls taper off. That's good stuff.
I love it.
That's good stuff. Well, rest in peace, Johnny Carson. I didn't know you were gone, brother.
Yeah, yep. So the question I often think about, as I know, Jeff, you're what, 55?
I will be 56 this month.
Well, you're a senior citizen.
So this will be an 11 year for me. So that means, boom, big things, chakalaka, boom. My life past 11, that means, whoa, it's getting even better. I know it's hard to imagine, ladies and gentlemen, but it's even getting better.
I love it. It's the right attitude to have.
Yeah.
So,
Wayne, I just want you to know I'm in my prime.
Well, I'm your huckleberry.
Absolutely.
Great show, folks. Great show. We're always in your prime. Listen, they have proven, I was going to do on my show tomorrow, I'm going to show where they have proven those minds that think young, that see themselves young, there is a physiological comparison difference between those and the people who have accepted that they're aging.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Yeah. Tonight, 9 p.m. Central, Shut Up with Rocky Stucci. Tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central, The Last Stand with Jay Campbell. Tuesday night, I think it's 9 p.m. Central, maybe 8 p.m. Oh, it is 9 p.m. Central. Soulfulish Girl, young tarot reader. Going to be very interesting, Wayne, bringing her on.
Okay. Never.
And I did ask Jenny if it was okay. Jenny said, of course it is. Don't be silly.
All right. That's cool.
What do you got coming up this week, Jay? Wayne.
Yeah. No, I continue to just each day just bring out stuff. Now on Wednesday I do a show. We're doing a show on diabetes. I
saw the cancer one.
Yeah, we're going to do.
How could Ransom have been born in 1977? Wayne, we are really old.
Yeah, I don't see it that way though.
You're right. We're not. We're not getting older. We're getting better.
I'll share this with you, Jeff. I'll share this with the audience. I am on this quest to discover what the ancients knew in how to depart the body.
That's interesting.
I had a person from India send me a video of a yogi that literally spoke to everyone, went into his hut, and died.
They say that John the Apostle said his goodbyes, walked into a room, opened a door to another dimension, and walked through.
So,
I like Shawnee Tarot's theology. The riper the berry, the sweeter the juice. Hello.
I love it. So I am really got some people working on this. I'm telling you, it's I think it's one of the most precious, sacred, lost knowledges of our species.
How to die?
I think we can literally, why wait for the body to fail to pass on?
Great point. But I'd be afraid I'd miss something, man.
Yeah, well, you're going to miss it anyway. Remember, if you believe in the recycling thing, you are the future of the past.
Oh, that's true. That's good.
So you haven't missed anything. You're actually living it.
That's true. And it is time to bring Heidi back on. Heidi, I think, has been super busy. I'll see her in a few days. I'll have to talk to her then.
I haven't seen her. Where has she been? She's like...
You know Heidi. She's busy stacking G's and wrecking the real estate world.
Well, she's in a good market.
She is. And she's a smart girl.
Yeah, she is. So anyway, that's what the quest is, folks. You should be able to die when you want to. And it should be a process that's not painful. And it should not be one that lingers.
I agree.
So there we go.
And Wayne, where do people find your brilliance?
Well, R. Wayne Steiger. By the way, are they still shadow banning YouTube on you? I wrote them a scathing letter. And,
I'm not sure what shadow banning even means. I know almost every video I put up gets held for the
review.
First 1,000 for review.
Yep.
Which is a way just not to pay a brother, but that's okay.
Yep.
And a lot of them now, if it has anything that other than a cat video, it gets demonetized. And then I go on this and like people say, Jeff, how can you be demonetized? When they show like this woman doing like a post boob job thing and her boobs are right there and it's monetized. I don't understand. I'm not showing my boobs.
That's the problem. You don't have any boobs.
Really? You can show your boobs on YouTube, but you can't talk about...
Well, I used to say
something
this.
that makes sense.
You know why God didn't give men breast?
Because they would never leave the house. They'd be playing with them all the time.
We would play with them. I mean, it's a single fascination of men.
That's horrible.
Well, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. Come on, I'm a sucker for it.
Warrior Queen says, "Show some skin, Jeff." Of all the people that you would least expect that to come from, Lois would be high on the list.
Oh, my goodness. Lois, how did your sleep test go? She went in for a sleep test. No, it's just,
did she?
Yeah, Melissa says go shirtless, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
That would be a community strike right across the top.
It would, wouldn't it?
Oh, my goodness. You got to tell you, folks, that's why you come here. You can laugh, you can learn. We're going to be controversial, but one thing about it, we'll always give it to you straight.
I mean, Rocky's in here talking about his nipples being hard.
There you go. See?
Not right now, but he was. Oh, Pisces 69, let's start naked Sunday. I don't know about that. I've seen some people naked that I wish I hadn't, and you just can't see. You can't unsee some things. Sunday fun day.
Oh, boy. I'm just, there are just some things that should remain covered.
Ain't that the truth? Wow.
That's all I got to say. It's, this has been funny. What a way to end the show.
All righty, all you contrarians. That's enough.
Thank you. Good one, Jeff.
For R. Wayne Steiger.
Oh.
I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, your friendly neighborhood contrarian. And actually, I got to say this. People are talking about, polar plunge shrinkage. Initial shrinkage, initial. But once you get out, exact opposite effect. Increased circulation, optimization. I'll leave it at that.
Enough said.
Enough said. For R. Wayne Steiger, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. We are the last generation of real humans. Isn't it time we get busy?
Right there.